Welcome back to the show. I'm Shelby, and we are continue with our topic 12 universal laws that is guide them our 3D realm. And the past two episodes that we discussed was law of gender, which means everyone have both a feminine and a muscular energy within ourselves. And I'm talking about spiritual energy. I'm not talking about biology. So we have to be balanced with our feminine and muscular energy in order to create. And second law that I shared from last episode was cause and effect. That means when we are doing little tiny things, little choices, little decisions, it all matters. And every thoughts that we think of, it will create a new branch, a new path in your reality. So every seed that we plant, we have to plant carefully and consciously. Otherwise, your subconscious will plant it for you out of it without any consciousness. So that's the two laws that I share so far. So today I am sharing with you the law of inspire action. And this is one of my favorite one because I'm sure you heard of be do have, right? So we have to become, and then the action will become easier. Then we will be able to have the dreams, the desire that we want. So this law is actually the bridge to from one reality to the next reality. It's like a quantum jumping, right? Quantum leaping. Yeah. So what is the law of inspire action? Taking intentional steps aligned with your inner guidance. And I can give you some of the example from my personal experience doing this podcast. Back in the college years, I took communication art that was including film, TV, and radio. And due to my English, I was uncomfortable speaking English, so I didn't take any radio class. But somehow when the COVID came along, we are locked down at home. I don't have anybody to really communicate, contact. So I decided to start a podcast. And little do I know, this brings me back to the college year because that little action that I somehow follow my internal nudges, and it becomes the podcast that you're watching right now as well. So the action that you're taking, the inspired action that you're taking, it's not about hustling, forcing action, and it's going to feel natural, flowing, exciting. And because in our society today, a lot of times that, especially on social media, a lot of times we are looking at the videos or the pictures, image that has been filtered, okay? No matter what you're looking at, it's been filtered. And when it's been filtered, it looks better. So when a person looking at those contents, they will somehow want to compare themselves with what they see. And when they do that, they have the desire to become like that of what they see. But normally, usually these type of quote unquote desire is not solid because it's external and your inner self is not even developed, because there's a saying that the universe doesn't give you what you want. The universe gives who you become. So you have to become who you are first, then the action will become very easy. And a lot of times people are also doing things by fear. Just give you another personal example. I'm in real estate, right? A lot of realtor become real estate agent, realtor was because they watch maybe the show on television and think it's an easy money, and think it's gonna make them a lot of money. But the true reality is it's not easy, first of all. Second of all, it takes action as well. Of course, everything takes action. Even So that's why there's a lot of turnover in this industry. A lot of agents start and couldn't even make it within 30 years and they just quit on themselves. And another example is a lot of time we have fear of doing certain things, like the example I just gave. I have fear of speaking English, but then when I'm not internal in the state of being to do certain actions, then it will become like a force, or I will have the fear towards it. So since I align myself with my inner and outer, now doing podcasts seems so easy for me. And also another example that I can give you personally is in the beginning when I do podcasts, I have a co-host. I was halfway in, halfway out because I still have that fear within me, honestly. And somehow she has to quit. So when she quit, then I have to do it. I have to do it myself, and that's where it leads me today. Now I'm doing the solo shows myself, even though it's not perfect. But we're not trying to be perfect. We're just trying to be our authentic self and taking the action and fulfill your inner guidance and fulfill the reality that you want to tap into. So how do you recognize those inspired actions? Some people thinking, oh, I'll just manifest and then sit on the sofa and watch Netflix all day. That is not gonna manifest anything because we do have. And also remember this, in order to create the universe or the reality that you desire, it has to have energy, frequency, and vibration. So the action actually is part of the energy. When you take action, you're moving. And when you're moving, you will generate that vibration. And every vibration has different frequencies. That makes sense? So people saying that manifest doesn't work, but actually it's working. It's just you're not doing the right way. And plus, if you're thinking it's not working and it's not working and it's actually working. So how do you recognize the inspire action? Oftentimes it arises like a intuition ideas, all of a sudden urge, or you have the inner pull or nudges like I mentioned earlier. So just like what I mentioned about my own experience doing podcasts, all of a sudden I just feel I want to do podcasts. Actually, I've been thought about it for a couple of years before I really actually start recording. And I just fulfill my inner guidance. And now I'm sitting here and talking about this topic, spiritual awakening topic. At first I have doubts, honestly, because I was thinking, who is gonna listen to me? Who is gonna watch me talking about this topic? Who am I, right? But my inner self calling for me to do this type of content, this type of episode. So here I am sharing this beautiful topic with you guys. So hopefully you guys can get tips, some knowledge in these episodes. So if you like these type of episodes, spiritual, Eckhart Tolle teachings, Neville Goddard's, Doris Kenyon's teaching, please follow and subscribe so you know you'll get notification when my next video release. And if you're on the audio platform, you can listen to this while you're driving, while you're working out, and sometimes I can be your background noise because again, all the information when you play in the background, I haven't never discussed this yet, but any sound, any content you play in the background, it will feed into your subconscious mind. Be careful. Because I know a lot of people love to turn on the TV when they first wake up in the morning to the news. While they get ready for work or while they're stuck in traffic, they're listening to the news. And that is not helping. And the reason I mention this because I'm actually one of them before. So I know how that will affect me, my reality. Yes. Okay. So the next, I want to add the practical ways to align with inspire action, quiet the noise. Okay. The like meditation that I mentioned, journaling. I mentioned journaling before a lot as well. Walk in nature and just unplug from the technology. Okay. And if like I mentioned, if you want to listen to this podcast, this type of content, you can with your headphones. That will really helpful. And then also you can also just ask your universe or your guidance, your higher self, this question. What's the next aligned steps? Because sometimes we are so stressed out, so depressed because we're trying to figure out how, including myself before. How am I gonna get this? How? Again, I mentioned about a lot in this channel about chasing. So when you try to find out how to play out, then this is a form of chasing as well. So you don't want to know the how, you just put in your vibration, your frequency out in the quantum field, and then it will come to you. And this really truly happened in my reality. I did put out some information and it just, I don't even need to ask. I don't even need to chase. I just attract. But actually, I know it's not attract, but I literally tap into another reality or dimension. So remember, ask for guidance. What is my next aligned steps? And then it will somehow show you when you ask this type of question, somewhere in the next few days, when you're just going by your everyday, it's gonna come, the answer is gonna come to you. And the answer, when it comes to you, it might be coming from someone you talk to, some podcast you're listening to, or something you read. Okay? Because I've been having this type of, I call it synchronicity, all this past 2 years. And every time I get my answer, and every time when I'm not, actually, I just put it out there and then it just come to me. It just answer the questions for me. And then I know what to do next. And I'm not chasing, I'm not forcing. I am just flow like a water. And that's the best way to practice align with your inspired action. So now it's your turn. I want to hear, do you have any stories or any experience that where the inspired action creates a breakthrough for you or give you some signs, some synchronicities? I would like to hear your story. Please leave a comment on YouTube, or if you are on the audio platform, again, you can leave me a review and just give me a feedback, share your stories, and maybe I will share on the show as well. Okay, so until next time, remember to subscribe on YouTube, hit that notification button. And if you're on audio, write me a review, follow. And last but not least, if you know someone that needs to hear this, please share this episode with them. Until next time, please be safe and peace.